Hi, this is Kenny Lee, and I want to talk a little bit about padding or cushioning. And the whole purpose behind padding and cushioning is actually time. Because what happens is this. If we look at our equation for impulse, or our combined equation for impulse. Impulse, well, it can be force times time, or it can be the change in momentum. So we can combine the two and have force times time equals the change in momentum. But let's look at a couple of things. Let's say you're jumping off the high dive, okay? And so by the time you reach ground level, you have a certain velocity and you have a certain mass. You're going to have a certain amount of momentum, and you got to come to a stop. Okay, so the final velocity is 0. And so that means that this side is fixed. The only thing that can change are these two things. Well, if you hit the water, that means you come to a stop in a long amount of time, and the force is very small. But if you hit the concrete, you stop in a very short amount of time, so that means there's a huge force, so there's a broken leg or something. So it's all about time. When you jump in bed at night, you want to hit the pillow, not the headboard. If you hit the headboard, you may go to sleep quicker, but the morning won't be as restful. But if you hit the pillow, your head comes to a stop over a longer period of time, so there's less force. I've been in martial arts for a long time, and we wear pads. And if you look at this one, I don't know if you can see with the video, but there's extra padding right over where the knuckles would be. And so, again, it's all about time. The padding will squish, and when it squishes, it increases the time of the impact and decreases the force. And it decreases the force, according to Newton's third law, for both the user and the person getting hit. So it actually protects both people. Airbags. Let me go grab an airbag. Airbags. And most of the safety features in your cars that protects you during an actual accident is all about time. They want to try to make that accident happen as long as possible so that there's less force on the occupants inside. And so for this airbag, when it deploys, see it's got holes in the side? And what that does is that allows when you fall into it to let the air escape so that you sink into it rather than bouncing off of it. That bounce, if you take two things and drop them, one hits and stops, one hits and bounces back up. The one that hits and bounces back up, that had a harder impact. There was more force there because not only did it stop it in both cases, it threw this one back up. So you don't want to bounce off, you want to sink into it. And so when you hit this, those holes allow the air to escape, and thus you come to a much slower stop in it. Same thing with newer airbags. This is more of a new airbag. It's got a little tether so it doesn't pop out too far. But again, even that has holes in it. So, padding is all about time. The longer the time, the less force. And that's what protects you in collisions or hitting anything in particular. All right? Thank you. Talk to you later. Bye.